We are live in the down under.
We actually are, bro. Zaya Reece.
We are now.
So who are you?
My name is Zaya Reece, aka Tinder Swindler number 3.
Tinder Swindler number 3. Now, you might remember 9 months ago when I told you that I wanted you to be on my first podcast. Do you remember that?
Not particularly, but yeah, I have a vague. I couldn't really say it was 9 months ago. No.
Yeah, it was September 10th, 2022. I have it. I have the exact date.
If you want to put it like that, then good on ya, Sonia.
So is there a reason that you weren't around when I tried to reach you during that podcast?
I can't even tell you. I'm gonna have to go into my Snapchat memories and see 9 months ago. You know.
Yeah. What do you think you'll see? Your ex-girlfriend's ass flapping in the wind?
Most likely.
Because
yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I really don't appreciate you standing me up on my first podcast and me actually blowing you up so big and complimenting you and your videos and your chicken eating, toad looking fat little ass dancing around. And I'm basically giving you a free endorsement. And you don't even give me the respect to give me the time of day for my first podcast ever in history. You know what? And I want to tell you right now in front of everybody, go fuck yourself.
Well taken, yes. Well taken. You reposted in the wrong...
But look, I get it. Like, I understand you were having trouble. You're going through hard times. I get that. Like, you've had some fucking issues lately, haven't you?
You could say so. You could definitely say so.
So you're in where? Where are you broadcasting from, sir?
Adelaide, South Australia, the home of Rundle Mall and the Rundle Bulls.
Adelaide, South Australia, the home of Rundle Mall and the Rundle Balls. Okay. So you're about 10,000 miles away from me here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10,000. It's at least 10,000.
From Skid Row to Christie's Downs, you know?
Say what? Say again?
Straight from Skid Row to Christie's Downs, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess it do be like that in Australia. I don't know. Well, listen. So okay, so you became sort of like famous for like 2 minutes back in what, 2016 for that meme?
Yeah, that was about the year, yeah. And I wouldn't say 2 minutes, you fucking asshole.
Well, it was what, like a few months? Like people were.
It was like 15. Fuck you.
Well, look. So just to refresh anyone's memory, that's basically everyone who's already
That built my childhood. Fuck you.
Right. Well, just to like refresh everyone's memory, tell me about that meme, because since I showed it on my first podcast, so I'm not going to re-show anything because I feel like I already showed all that shit. But why don't you describe it and give me, and if you can remember, tell me why you chose that meme, like, to do that.
Well, you want me to describe the meme?
Yeah, I want you to describe it.
Well, you know what? You know, it was the time where a certain joke was funny that you wouldn't be able to make anymore. That's what I'll say. One for one. It was during the period of school shootings.
Right. Yeah. So you was this 2016? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. This who was that Valentine's Day shooter?
I don't remember that.
I remember he little scrawny kid with the glasses.
I don't. There's been so many. I don't keep up with them anymore. But yeah, I get it. So
I forgot. We're just media orientated over here. We don't actually have them happening.
Right. No, I get that. Well, you can't, because you're not allowed to have guns. The citizens of Australia have been prohibited from owning firearms. Is that right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can't even own a fucking BB gun or a gel blaster, mate.
Right. So, and also, there is no free speech. You can be arrested for
You can
what?
get fined for swearing. Yeah.
But it's in public. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so only in public, or could it be anywhere?
Only in public. Only in public.
Okay. Well, all right. So there's no free speech. There's no possession of firearms allowed. Can you do anything over there without going to jail? Like, can you drink water and not be arrested?
You
Is
probably get arrested if you drink real clean water, because the government don't like that.
Oh, right. They'll get you for the clean water.
I'm very sarcastic there, but yeah.
And anything else? Are you allowed to have sex with someone of the opposite sex?
Oh, sadly, yes.
Sadly, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Are you allowed to own your own business?
Yeah, I don't really know much about that, but yeah.
Can you own your own house?
It's a bit hard. If the government still wants to take it, they'll fuck you up the arse and they'll take it.
Right. But well, for what? What excuse would they give? Taxes or what?
Let's say they want to build a fucking gas pipeline under your house,
Well, I mean, they can do that
Well-
here. They've done that here plenty.
Well,
But
shit. Then I don't know. You asking me if I know about owning houses?
okay,
Like,
so
fuck you.
but at least you can breathe and drink water. How about breathing? Do you get a citation for breathing clean air?
Metaphorically, yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's all good stuff to know about Australia. The more I hear about Australia, the more I want to never ever 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 go, cunt.
Really? Is it
Like
that bad?
you are okay, and it's not even about the laws. Like, I don't care. I know I'm a tourist. Like, I wouldn't.
Hey, we forgot one thing.
What?
Marijuana.
Oh, yes. Okay, so marijuana is illegal in Australia, right?
Yes, illegal for recreational use. You can
So
get it if you're lucky.
So
but,
if you have a medical card, you're good.
it's pretty hard to get them, but yeah, pretty much. And even still, if you have a medical card, you still get fucked up,
So you have to suck the government's dick to get a medical card, and even then, they can take it away.
Not take it away, but they could still, if the police want to, they'll still charge you for having weed on you.
Interesting. And okay, and has this always been this way since your whole life?
No, the medical thing, that's like 4 years old.
Yeah. Okay, so no weed, no guns, and everything else is no free speech, and pretty much everything else is questionable.
Expensive alcohol, not that matters. How much do you pay for a bottle of whiskey?
Good bottle of whiskey or shit?
Oh, just a good one. Jack Daniels, whatever.
$20, $30? $30?
Yeah, we pay about $50 Australian. Yeah.
I can believe that, yeah. So they tax everything very heavily.
Yeah, cigarettes and all. You just pay about $10 for a packet of 20 smokes here. We pay 40.
Interesting. And what about food? Do they also tax food that heavily?
I couldn't really. I mean,
like wait, didn't you tell me a box of cereal is like $25, $30?
No, that was a box of American cereal.
Oh, okay. So any American...
We like to import your food, and we like to really overprice it because of the notoriety on it. Yeah.
Right, yeah, it costs like 50 cents to ship over there, but they're charging $50. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have no dollar fucking tacos here either,
And also in Australia, don't you have spiders that can end your life?
Oh, they're alright. They're alright. They're okay.
And aren't there certain spiders, like most spiders, aren't they like as big as a human hand?
Nah, yeah.
Yeah,
I had to look at my hand there for a minute, fuck.
And aren't there many different species of snakes that if they bite you, you're dead. Like, that's it.
Well, me myself, I've never seen a snake in Australia in the wild, but they probably just go for the tourists and stuff like you.
Australia is home to the brown snake, which is the most venomous snake in the world.
Yeah, the red belly black. I would worry more about the spiders if I were you.
Oh, trust me, my brother, in Christ, I am. I am more worried about the spiders, trust me. And that's another reason why look, I'm gonna have to mark you off the list because there's lots of places I want to travel to. Okay, I've been to a couple places in my life. I've been to Russia, I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico. Okay, but that's about it. And like, привет, здравствуйте. I really like. I want to go to England. I want to tour France. I want to see Germany. I want to maybe see Spain, and I definitely want to go to Japan. But I don't know, man. I don't want to be insulting. I mean, I'm sure your country's great and all. I mean, despite having no rights and an imperial police state that stamps you from birth and makes sure you have absolutely no rights your whole life. I don't know. I don't think I want to come. I'm sorry. Like, I think I'm good. Like, I really do. Like, and I'm not saying that in an insulting way. I know how I feel. And like, you have to understand, I'm not a bitch. Like, I'm really not. I try not to be, bro. But if I saw one of those spiders, I really think that I'd have a heart attack. Like, I don't think I could handle it. Maybe I would jump on it and kill it right away. Either I would kill it right away. Like really like killing it. Like it's either me or the spider is going to die. Like that's how it's going to go down. Like my fight or flight will kick in immediately in my brain from my amygdala and command my body to either kill this spider or run away. But then if I run away, then I can't come back because
Did you know you get heavily charged for killing spiders here?
Bro, really? Do you really?
That's a joke. No,
Bro, I was about to. I could totally believe that since they charge you for everything else.
That's why I said it,
So, Zaya, you just got out of prison. Is that right? You just got out of jail?
That is correct.
And do you want me to go into it, like what happened, or can you do that, or what?
That is not available at this time until my
right. So it's ongoing. Yeah, I get it. So it's all worked out. But at least you're out. You spent a month in lockup?
I'd say yeah.
And how was that experience? Was that good? Was that just like the Four Seasons, or?
It wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like compared to what you see on the fucking American TV of what yours look like,
Well, all right. So look,
got big Bubba in the back going, "You better not drop that soap, boy."
Well, yeah, I wouldn't recommend dropping any soap in any jail, but
I actually did on my first night too.
Oh, did you? Well, how'd that go for you?
You got your own private shower, so it's all right.
Oh,
but
right.
That feeling of it hitting the floor, and then you got to pick it up. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, well, privacy.
You don't know if one ghost can get you,
Privacy's important, especially in prison.
Sure is. Yeah.
But I hope you had time to think about things and think about your life. Now, you're only 18 years old, is that correct?
That is correct, Amundo.
So you're having a great start. I mean, you're up and running, and you're learning life lessons quickly, which is kind of good because when you get older, when you get my age, you'll have learned all those lessons and you'll be twice as wise. But, I mean, I first went to jail when I was 20, which is 2 years older than you. I was married to a psychopathic Ukrainian witch who used me for a green card, basically, who was a few years older than me and was very manipulative. At any rate, I was an idiot, and I ended up in jail for maybe 24 hours.
Fuck, that's a long time.
And then I can do better than that. I've got another one coming up. And then thankfully I got bailed out. Maybe it was longer. Maybe it was like 48. It was horrible. I had some black dude insinuate that he was going to rape me. You know, I'm 20 years old. I just moved to LA from fucking Alabama, from the middle of nowhere. And suddenly I'm in jail with, you know, anyway, terrible memories. Terrible memories. But it taught me a lot, you know. It taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Like, so, but anyway, you always learn from each one of those. The second time was indeed for weed, which I was actually set up by a family member. And this was out in the middle of nowhere, like in rural Tennessee, like the backwoods, bro. Like where all the cops know each other, very small village. Like the sheriff knew my uncle very well, and my uncle hated me. I hated him, and he set me up basically because he knew I had weed on me, or at least he suspected that I did. And sure enough, I got stopped with like an ounce, and he charged me with several different felonies. You know, luckily my dad, being also in a high position in society, bailed me out of that situation. He hired like one of the best lawyers in an adjacent county that was like a judge, or used to be a judge, and got everything reduced. And I think I pled just like misdemeanor to marijuana possession, and I did like 2 days in jail. And that country jail was the easiest jail you can imagine. Have you seen the American TV show, the Andy Griffith Show?
Nah.
All right, well, the Andy Griffith Show was back in the 50s and 60s. It was about this sheriff who lived in a small town, and he was like a good sheriff, like a legit sheriff, like honest. But anyway, he had the jail in his office, and he only had a couple of prisoners. There was like one drunk named Otis, and a couple people would pass through, like nobody serious. But it was like that. It was like a couple of little cells, and you're right there next to a coffee machine. It was funny. And after 2 days, I got, and the guys in there were nice. They weren't too crazy. Actually, there was a fight. I mean, every time I've been in jail, I've witnessed a fight. I'll just say it. Yeah, no, you're guaranteed. Even and like I wasn't even there for 48 hours, and I'm already seeing a huge brawl.
Yeah.
And it's like it happens all the time. That's what people don't understand. You don't know where you're going. Like motherfuckers who've never been in jail or never been in trouble and talking about, I'm not afraid of jail. I don't give a fuck, because you don't know where you're about to go, brother.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't know until you get there, and you're like, oh shit, it can't be this fucked up, but it is. It's even 10 times more fucked up. Yeah. So a second time I went to jail for weed. Also this was in Alabama. A little bit worse, but not that much. But the worst time I went to jail was here in LA County, when I actually went to LA County jail for like...
You know, I'm all the way on the other side of the world, but as soon as you said LA County, it's familiar, you know?
You know why it's familiar?
Why?
Because it's infamous for being the absolute worst jail on the planet.
Jesus.
That's why you know about it. It's so bad that they've been wanting to close it down. But for whatever reason, they haven't. They probably will at some time. But that is like... LA County Jail is like the worst... imagine like the worst, most unkept, most filthy zoo that you could visit.
Yeah.
Like... And how that would smell and how that would look. And all the animals that are in the zoo are feral.
Sounds about it.
And all the zookeepers are these giant, bulky, like ogres that walk around with weapons that can kill you.
Sounds like some Harambe shit, you know?
No, LA County is like the worst place you could ever go, trust me. I mean, Adelaide Jail...
Why'd you go there again?
What?
Why'd you go there again?
It's complicated. I had a real fucking mess happen to me when I was staying over at UCLA. when I lived over there, and I got accused of some false shit. And I mean, I was kind of being shady, but I was not guilty of what I was charged with.
Yeah.
But it was one of those situations where there was like an overzealous police detective
Yeah.
who got tired of all the complaints and was like, I've got to fucking bust this guy. This guy's on my last fucking nerve. And finally he just snapped. And but yeah, they really, like the UCLA PD, they really wanted me really bad. Like they followed me home. They were
They're called the UCLA PD.
Well, yeah, they're like, yeah, there's like the university police. But they're basically just like state police. They have the same police power as any state trooper. I mean, they could go they're confined to an area, but technically they can go to anywhere and arrest you. Anywhere in the state, because any state trooper could do that. Anyway, long story short, these mofos were banging on my apartment door for like 2 hours, and I refused to come out. They didn't have a warrant, so I was like, go fuck yourself. I'm not opening the door. But they wouldn't go away. At first, they were like banging on the door for 30 minutes. They're like, we ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, well, I'm not opening it, so you can get fucked.
Yeah.
And so no, they didn't. They probably would have within the next, 12 hours, but it would have taken them a bit to get that warrant. And I knew that I knew that was going to happen, so I knew I couldn't stay there. So once things calmed down after several hours, I snuck out. And I actually got as far as getting in my car and driving away. I was headed for the freeway. I don't know where the fuck I thought I was going. But anyway, I tried it, and sure enough, I had been staked out. There were at least 3 patrol cars that had a trajectory on my apartment that were watching it. And they knew my car, so they knew exactly when I pulled out of my driveway. And I went right past one of those motherfuckers. And as soon as I did, he fucking 360'd and turned 180'd and then went chasing me. And then as the farther we went, I noticed I gave him a little chase too, cunt. The farther we went, I just kept seeing more and more of them. Like they were popping out of the woodwork. Like they were everywhere, like staking me out.
They were on a mission.
Yeah, they were on a mission. They would get Jamie Hunter. Get this motherfucker. That was their mission. Over some dumb bullshit that a detective just made up out of his ass. Anyway, again, police power in America is pretty bad, but at least we have the Bill of Rights. That helps a little bit. But it doesn't...
Your First Amendments and shit.
What?
Your First Amendments and shit.
Right. But it only helps a little bit. It only goes so far. Once you reach a certain point, if you keep fucking with them, they'll take all that away. But
I got one thing.
Yeah, and so...
Why do they always got to read me Miranda's rights? Like, who's Miranda? You know, I want to know about my rights. I don't want to know about Miranda's rights.
Yeah, fuck Miranda. Yeah, who is Miranda? Miranda's no one she's not a founding father. Who the fuck is Miranda?
You know, like, who said a woman could make my rights? You know?
Just tell them, next time they say that, just tell them they're God-given rights. They're not Miranda rights.
Exactly.
Look, police are always going to be police, and I see a need for police, like literally. I mean, especially now. And I have
defund the police. Defund the police.
Well, no. Let me tell you something. At this time in my life, I have more respect for police than at any other time. When I was your age, I had none. I thought all police were bully thugs who were always that way. They were that way in high school. And they were all the bullies from high school that graduated and just wanted to continue to be assholes. That's what I thought. Until I actually got to know cops and really know what kind of bullshit they have to fucking put up with. And they're actually not the real bullies. The real bullies are out there doing 10 times worse shit. Now, human nature just is human nature. Anyone who gets a little bit of power is going to eventually abuse it. That's just how we are. We're built like that. So I can't just blame them. See, that they're in the position to do that more than anyone. But, we can. That's not a discussion that I think I want to have right now. But anyway, cops. You got to have cops. You can't not have cops. That's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and hey, there's always going to be bad cops, and there's always going to be really good cops who will bust a bad cop if they have a chance. Maybe some of them are scared to do that. But see, that kind of falls on their shoulders, when a good cop does nothing. But, there's tons of American movies about good cops who encounter bad cops. In fact, there's a Clint Eastwood movie. It's one of those in the Dirty Harry series. I think it's called Maximum Force, but I forgot. And it's where he's Detective Dirty Harry, and there's all these patrol cops that are going around San Francisco just randomly murdering people. Like all the people that they're killing, that they just come up on you and shoot you. Like that's it. But all the people
don't do that anyway.
Well, yeah, they kind of do. But then when they do it the other way, they just hide behind the law, and there's nothing worse than that. But look, the thing is, there's always going to be good cops too, and you've got to give them props for protecting the people who can't protect themselves. I'll just put it that way. But I will say, and the point, especially in the United States, and it's even worse in Australia, this country, the idea that you have to wait for a cop to protect you, that's naive. The cops come after the crime has already been committed. They don't.
Well, yeah, exactly. And if someone breaks into your house here, you're pretty much just told to just stand there and let it happen.
Yeah, see, I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, but if you defend yourself and kill him, you're going to jail.
See, I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, neither can I.
See, because to me, that just says from the beginning, well, you don't really have a right to have your own house. You don't have a right to have your own home.
Pretty much.
Like, what good is it? Like, if you abide by the law in the United States, you're not like a criminal, and you're all legal and shit. You've got a gun, whatever gun is legally in your name. I could go camping in the forest, and I could take my gun with me, and I could defend my campsite with my gun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to. My hotel room, same thing. Like, whatever space I occupy, the law says I have the right to defend myself if I'm threatened.
Yeah.
And that's it. If I just have the thought that my life is in danger, I can take that other person's life and not get in trouble for it. And that is tremendous. That is a tremendous power for a citizen to have. And that's what they don't want. Now, you're out of jail now, and you've got what? They got you on one of those GPS trackers?
Yeah, it's a nice little watch on my ankle,
So you're under house arrest.
Yeah.
So which is kind of like the only circumstance that I would be able to force you to do my podcast, isn't it? So I wanna say thank you right now publicly to the South Australian Police for capturing you after 9 months of running from my podcast. Because that's what you really went to jail for, you shit cunt, is running from my podcast.
Did I have a James Hunter warrant?
I had you.
Warrant. This arrest has been warranted by Jamie Hunter for the avoidance of his internet podcast.
I had you set up, cunt, because I knew that if I didn't have you collared like a dog, you'd never fucking come on my fucking podcast, you motherfucker.
I was going to do it, but like I just didn't realize it was.
It's all good,
No,
bro. Look.
No, but I'm used to, doing this on a phone is okay. But you know me, I'm used to like the desk and the computer and the microphone.
Well, you'll get there.
Whipping up the fucking the paper like it's Joe Rogan's little butt buddy.
You'll get there, man. Don't worry about it. You'll get there. But and look, you're always welcome to come back. We can do this anytime. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I think you're cool and fun to talk to. It's good enough for me. I don't always have to have somebody who's all that fucking important to me to have them on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, my next podcast is going to be very serious, so that's why I wanted this one to be like a clown show.
Is this the like introduction cast? The introduction podcast, the induction.
But anyway, before we get off cops, I want to play this video. This video that you sent me of an Australian policeman.
Was he parked illegally?
No, I'm going to show that after this. This is the don't swear one.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a moment. I'm going to play it. Okay, so this is real. This really happened, correct?
Man, I'm trying to talk too.
There's no acting to it because you can tell it's a legitimate Australian police car. You can tell there's uniform, and you would get a bit in trouble if you dressed up like that.
All right, I'm gonna play it right now. Give me 1 minute, and I'll be right back. Hold on, I'm playing it.
Man, I'm trying to talk too. Yeah, I'll catch you later, right? Go stop some fucking criminals. I said catch you later, go stop some criminals.
You swear one more fucking time and I'll put you in the lockup for the night for disorderly. Just like last time, I'll deny your bail and some big fella's going to play with your asshole through the night. If that's what you want, say one more fucking swear word. Otherwise,
relax.
Pull your head in.
Relax.
Don't tell me to relax. You don't tell me what to do. You don't swear in public. Switch on. Any questions?
Did you actually have you actually stopped any criminals today?
Wow. I mean, that cop did so many fucked up things in that one video.
It sucks though because it's actually kind of funny.
No, it is. It's hilarious.
But they're not allowed to be hilarious like that. That's it. My job.
Right, and by the way, why does he have a Hitler mustache? But anyway, look. Look. Birds of a feather. But look, that shit in America, this cop would be gone in 2 seconds. If that video came out, the moment his fucking commander saw that shit, he'd be out.
Yeah.
Like you can't, and I'm surprised, and I'm sure in Australia he got away with it. And just pretty much everything he said you could make an argument against, especially in public. How are they in public? They're out in the middle of a dirt road.
Pretty much.
Doesn't in public mean like if you're at Rundle Mall and you start saying, "Ah, fuck you, cunt," like in a crowd? Isn't that what they mean by in public?
I can't really tell you what they mean. You know what I mean? Like
if you're with two people out on a dirt fucking road, that's in public.
I guess so.
See, there's one argument that could have been made, but I mean, and tons of them, but especially the comment about I'll take you to jail, you get your butthole fondled. I mean, what the fuck's going on with that?
I don't know the story of the dude behind the camera, but yeah.
Anyway, and I'm going to show this one right here. This one you sent me, and this is actually you with your encounter with the motorcycle cop. I hope my mic can pick this up. I think it can.
This was 3 years ago, yes.
Yeah, let me put this up to the camera and make the camera a little bit bigger. Okay.
Excuse me. You parked illegally there. I'm allowed to be parked there, mate. No, you were parked illegally there. Sure. You want your 15 minutes of fame? Come here. Pardon? You want your 15 minutes of fame recording me? Come here. Rule 305 of the Australian Road Rules states that I can park there to conduct my duties, which I'm allowed to. Now you stopped me from getting a speeding motorist. So congratulations, sir. You just let someone get away with speeding because I've had to deal with you instead. So well done. Oh, good. Thank you.
Quite well, thank you.
Oh, good, thank you.
Yeah, I was happy that I stopped that speeding motorist getting caught. You know,
Well, look, man,
saving the world.
you gotta,
Saving the world from predator's fines.
you've got to, you've got to chill the fuck out, man. The best thing for you to do is to distance yourself from all that, and when you're able to get out of this, don't give them any more excuses to do this to you.
Yeah, no, not
Because
again.
there's
you know,
nothing-
Finding out America was enough, you know, like Jesus.
I mean,
Get me out of
let
here,
me
Lord.
just ask you this: is prove, and that's why. And by the way, you should have already had your passport, because before going to jail, you could have bounced and given them the finger, but you fucked off and didn't bother with it. But I get it. I mean, I'm sure you've got financial issues.
Yeah, and it doesn't help now. I can't even get a job, you know, like
But
fuck.
look, well, that would change if you came over here. But I can't tell you what to do with your life. But all I can say is if I were you, I'd get the fuck out of there and get over here as quickly as possible. And I would make that my number one priority in life, is to do that. But like I said,
Yeah.
it's all you, and I can't be the one to make that choice. But at least, whether you come here or not, don't play their game, because you're never going to win. Like, and by the way, is that the hill that you want to die on? I mean, do you want to be like the next Ned Kelly? Do you want to be the one who,
Nah, fuck that.
I mean, is that how it's, because you know how he ended up. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
They hung him.
There's no one who fought those cunts as hard as Ned Kelly did.
Yeah.
Because he knew. But see, the thing is that it's like one man fighting an army. How can you win that? I mean, you have to have your own army if you're going to take on an enemy that big.
Pretty much.
And I mean, Ned Kelly, if he would have had more support, and anyone in that position, like if he would have had like a huge amount of support, I mean, it's in days before the phone, before the internet, before, I'm not even sure what year that was that Ned Kelly happened. But, I mean, they was using pots and pans for fucking armor. And, like, I mean, like, who knows? Maybe if he could have gotten, you know, an army and taken over, you know, things would be different in Australia. You'd have free speech, and you're, you know, all like in the United States.
Pretty much.
But whatever. Like, I don't want to turn this into a political thing, but I wanted to talk to you more about back in the day. See, the reason I liked you, Zaya, is because back in the day when you were a kid, what, 14, 15 you started?
Nah, 12.
Like 12,
11.
like really young. And that's actually the same age as me when I started doing it. See, technically you're a filmmaker, as well as being a comedian, which that came later. But technically you started out as a filmmaker because you started making your own videos.
Pretty much,
And
yeah.
by the way, you got really good at it. Especially later on, like before you stopped doing it. Like your video, like you made your own, you shot your own videos yourself.
Yep.
You edited all your videos yourself.
Well, dude.
You did it all yourself. And like, you learned how to do all that shit, all the effects and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were a legit filmmaker. And like, I kind of like that. I like when I hear stories like that, because that's what I did. Even though I did it in a different way. And I probably had a lot more help than you did. But you still did it. Because the technology that I was using, you can't really do it by yourself. Like, I was using real, like, you know, film cameras, you know, with cranks and fucking motors and fucking celluloid. And film is a whole different ball game than video. But even still, it doesn't matter. You were still doing it. And for anyone who doesn't know, Zaya was part of my first podcast. So if you want to see some of those videos, go to the first one and you can see it. A few of them that I played. They're hard to get now. Apparently you've privated all of them.
Yeah, I have, but I'll unprivate them.
So Zaya, for 2
They go
minutes,
up and down.
For 2 minutes, can you come up with a rhyme or song, or can you do one of your raps? Because I got to go take a piss. I'll be right back. It's just going to be
I
you,
can try.
brother. Don't make it dead air. Go.
Yeah. I fucking can't blow no weed in the air. The government wants me to sit here in despair because I fucking can't blow no weed in the air, motherfucker. Yeah, they want to piss test me. Well, fuck, I might have to open up them cops like a can of Pepsi. Come through, fucking infect your blood with Hep C. I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking sitting here healthy, eating all this KFC till my fucking brain is full of oil that is bacon G. Sitting here with the dead air. The government got me in despair spare. Fuck the fucking COs and the screws. I'm just gonna punch another bug. Yeah, the government don't want me smoking weed. But I'm gonna get a medical script and I'm gonna show you how I'll be. I'm rhyming and motherfuckers are full of slime and I don't give a fuck about my timing. He just flushed the toilet. Yeah, he couldn't avoid it. Yeah, he just flushed the fucking toilet and he couldn't avoid it. Yeah, he just flushed the toilet and he couldn't avoid it. Yeah, he just flushed that toilet and he couldn't avoid it. You back?
Bro, have you been like rapping my taking a piss? Did you just fucking ad-lib me going to the toilet?
At the end I did when I heard the flush, yeah.
Fucking hell. See, this is what I like.
He was in the toilet.
That's thinking on your feet, bro. By the way, I've got this rap song that I made around here somewhere. I was gonna sing it, but I don't know where it's at. So should have found it beforehand. Because I remember I was gonna do a flow. I don't know what I did with it. You there?
Yeah, maybe the government got rid of it because they didn't want you speaking facts or anything, you know?
Yeah, right. I know, right? It was
They
about.
don't want you to be like Donald Trump releasing secret documents and shit, you know?
Well, it was about my ex. So her fucking filthy lion snitch ass probably broke in here and got it.
Oh, true. Well, fuck my ex. She got the smelliest breath. I'm coming through, yeah, with the fucking biggest of testicles. Yeah, dumping every obstacle. Running from the constable.
I mean, I don't think I could have done it any better than you. So we'll just leave it at that. But so you made your own videos and then you got into memes. That's another thing that I found really entertaining about you is that you were basically a meme god. I mean, you're even still to this day, you always find the best memes online. And it's just incredible.
Thanks the algorithm.
Yeah.
Nah.
Because you just find them so quick and they're always the latest and funniest ones.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't even know if the word meme is still a thing these days, you know, like these young kids, I don't even think you can say that word and they'd know what you're talking about.
Right. So, yeah. Like 2016 is already, you're an old fuck now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, look, hey, I don't let age affect me. I just go with however I feel. And if I feel good, I'll act young or I'll be young. If I feel like shit, I'll be old. But like, you'll find that, you know, time changes as you get older. It starts out really slow. And you just think that it's going to be forever. And the older you get, the faster it gets. And then you start actually noticing the goddamn the hand turning. But look, so you did that. And then why did you stop doing Red Tiger comedy? Did you just get into girls, or were you just interested in other shit, or you gave up on it, or
started smoking marijuana.
Oh yeah, you weren't doing that during the Red Tiger days?
By the end of it, but yeah.
So you were just naturally that autistic.
Yeah, I was just raw dogging it, you know.
I'm just playing with you, man.
No, that's true. I was just raw dogging it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, And by the way, I did funny videos like that too. I had a video camera. I didn't just do film, and I did little skits and shit that were funny. But nothing like you. I mean, yours were very good. Very surreal, very esoteric, and like kind of like give people a reference, kind of like Tom Green.
Yeah.
Your comedy is very similar to what Tom Green was doing. Which I like. A lot of people don't like, but I like. I like that type of shit. But,
the question is, where's Declan?
Right. Yeah, and you created your own characters. You've got... Let's go down the list. You did Professor Henderson.
You got Toad McFroggerson.
Toad McFroggerson. Declan. You did this thing on John Cena. I forget that. Yeah. That was funny. But it was just kind of like... It was just like, for a bit, it was just like kids being kids. And you watch those videos, and it just kind of gave me a... It's like these little shots of nostalgia. Like I remembered what it was like making those silly kind of videos when I was that age and shit. And I was like, God, like I really miss those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I got into it. Like, I don't know, so... Because, like, I did all that. So it was kind of a way for me to harken back in a way. So...
Yeah.
Appreciate you. But... so what now, Zaya? So you're getting into what? Like, what is this whole Aussie rap thing? Can you please explain this to me? Because I don't really get it.
It's just music,
Right. So is it called rap? What's it called?
It's called rap, but it's called Aussie rap.
It's called Aussie rap. Okay. And so this guy Forte, is he like the biggest one?
No. But yes, he's the most successful one. He's like more underground, but let's just say this: there's more mainstream ones, but they're all douchebags.
Right.
For example, Forte's made a song with Lil Easy, Eazy-E's son, Bone Thug, and Snoop. No one else has done that.
Oh, nice. So he probably is known in America as well.
Yeah, he would be because he's been there. He's been there a few times.
And so he's on YouTube, Forte at Large?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you like that and you want to get into that and you've been doing your own shit as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but
now, I
want to get back into filming,
Right. Yeah, because I think that's kind of like what you're really... I think that's where all your talent is, man. And honestly, like, I'll be honest, I really couldn't recommend anyone to move to America, just to move to America. There's nothing I got to tell you, it's overrated, especially now. It's gone so far down. It's not the same country it was, let's just face it. It's a crumbling empire, but hey, it happens. But in your case, with you having these proclivities for being a filmmaker, I really think it would help your life if you came here, especially to California. Because you could find regular employment with you already have all those skills, and if you just applied yourself and just did it and set up gigs for yourself and kept in steady work, you'd be fine. As long as you didn't get like mired down in all the petty fucking shit that you've been mired down in Australia, and you know what I'm talking about. It's petty shit, man, and it's never going to get you anywhere.
100%.
So, and you know that, but all these little punk, little maricone motherfuckers wanting to run each other down in the street, all this ritualistic shit done over pussy, all the fucking drugs, the nasty fucking drugs that get passed around that do nothing but fucking rot your brain from the inside out. You gotta get the fuck away from it, man. And and because it's toxic, bro. It's gonna end you, bro. Have you known anyone who's come from that culture who's been successful? Nobody, because you can't.
Richard Pryor.
Well, maybe him. You know, fine.
I was joking. I was joking.
I'm wrong. I stand corrected. Well, I mean, hey, for you to have that kind of insight, yeah, you definitely belong over here. If you know Richard Pryor that well. Richard Pryor set himself on fire after hitting a crack pipe. And then he made several $1 million making a joke about it on stage. That's how good Richard Pryor was. Look, for me, the most important thing in this life, besides having a decent family and a decent home,
Decent family? Shut up. I thought you were about to say decent pussy.
that in the long run, that doesn't matter. That's all great and good, but I mean,
Yeah.
you might as well could say, well, I ate a good flavor of ice cream today, or I had an excellent pizza, or my steak was cooked well. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about it? It comes and goes. That's not what. See, all that shit is temporary. What I was gonna say was that besides a good home and family, what matters is what we are remembered for when we're gone, what we contribute to this world, if anything. I mean, it doesn't matter, because one day it's all going to be gone and no one will remember you, and that's cool. But at least for some time, you can leave something behind that can educate people, you know, about how to live and how not to live, and how, like, through your experience, you know, you can share your mistakes and success with the world, so you know, the future generations know where the fuck the bear is in the buckwheat.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And if you can't do that, what have you really contributed? Like, you know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like on a wide scale. You can pass down your knowledge to your immediate family and your friends. Hey, that's good enough, you know. At least they remember it, and they can pass on that. They can pass that on as well. Obviously, on a massive scale, that's. I mean, there's degrees to this shit, you know.
100%.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel, and that's why I do movies as well. That's why I do movies, is because that's a direct pipeline to be able to leave something behind.
Yeah. Like artwork, it's pretty much like art.
Like I said, when I was 14 years old, 14, 15, and I did my first picture, which was Robin Hood. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's on my YouTube. It's only an hour, so you should check it out.
Yeah, we'll probably watch it after this. But I remember.
Fuck off. I've known you for how long, and you haven't even watched my first movie? You're a cunt.
No,
By the way,
I probably did.
let's talk about this word. I want to
You
talk.
can't say that. You can't say that. That's frowned upon, mate.
Listen, I want to talk about the word cunt for a second.
Yeah.
And its significance in Australia. Now, if you say this word in the United States, especially to a woman, if you call a woman a cunt, that is an extreme insult. In fact,
What's it? The question is, what's it really like? How do they take it over there? Like, what's it mean?
it means everything. Every
So
nasty.
there's not. Yeah, so you're kind of mashing all the nastiest like.
It's the
insults.
most. It's the most debasing, the most debilitating, the most insulting thing you can say to a female, literally in the United States, is call them a cunt.
Jesus.
And it just sort of.
Maybe don't send me over there. You know.
Well, that's just how the word evolved in America. It just became this really hateful. Like, if you say this to a woman, that means that you hate her. And it probably means that you hate all women as well, if you say that. So, but in Australia, it's different. And there's several different versions of cunt that I want to talk about. Now, just general Malays, just general cunt is like mate, right? Like homie,
Yeah.
like bro.
You know, it depends. Like if it's just general, you know, it's like, what's going on, cunt? You know, it's a good way to say hi to your mate, or fucking if you
Like,
just
hey, what's going on, cunt? Like, I know you. Like, I know all the little fucking shit.
yeah,
I know all the
yeah.
shady shit that you've been doing, you cunt. Yeah. Is it like that? Is it like I like? Yeah, I know
But
you cunt.
It depends what you add in front of it, behind it. I mean,
Right.
if
So let's.
if you call someone a shit cunt, then that's
Right.
you don't want to be known as a shit
Okay.
cunt.
Right. So shit cunt is the bad cunt.
Yeah, and dog cunt. You don't want to be known as a dog cunt.
Okay, that's the worst one, right?
That's probably one of the worst ones. Yeah, that's someone calling you a
So
pretty much that. Yeah,
so dog cunt implies that you're a traitor.
yeah.
Dog cunt implies that you're a backstabbing son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so dog cunt is the worst. That's like the most villainous, the most insulting.
Most, yeah. It depends. Or there's one called sick cunt, but it's evolved to become a compliment. Like, you used to call, like a murderer or a rapist, a sick cunt. But now you call your mate a sick cunt if he does a good job.
Right, like, hey, it's sick cunt. Like, you're
sick
that's
cunt.
cool.
Yeah,
Like,
cunt,
yeah,
brother.
Zaya,
Yeah,
I like your videos. You're a sick cunt. Like that's sick.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, nice. So there's sick cunt, shit cunt, and dog cunt.
There's probably a few more that I can't think off the top of my head.
Okay, got it. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Cunt like emphasizes a word, like you can just call someone a dog or a dog cunt.
I think it's important that people understand the difference.
Yeah. Because you
okay.
don't want to accidentally, because you say dog over there, what's going on, dog?
And
You
by
don't
the
wanna
way,
call it a dog.
not just the dudes are saying this. Like the Sheilas are saying it as well.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
real
so
sexy when
it's
they say
not.
it too.
You're right. Okay, so it's not a gender thing. It's not a sex thing.
Nah.
Got it. So hey, there's your fucking gender equality right there.
Exactly.
There it is. What are you complaining about? So look. So what's the plan for you now, brother? What's going to happen now? How long do you have to be on this?
I got caught in September, but I'm not sure if it's going to be longer to be on this bracelet. But for now, I can't smoke no weed. I can't drink. Can't do nothing.
So
I've just applied for a medical script. Paid $219 for a consultation. Yes, $219.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are stuck in the year 2003.
Yeah, pretty much.
2004, 2005, 2006. Because I was having to do that. Those were my medical card days when I had to carry around my medical card. And I got to tell you, say what you want about California. Okay? Say what you want. But to be able, let me tell you something. To be able to walk into a weed store and walk up to the counter and walk up to the vendor without a medical card. All I got to do is show my ID at the door.
Yeah.
To be able to do that, it's awesome. After years, and by the way, my home state of Alabama, which I love, has the worst marijuana laws, the most strict in the entire country.
Yeah, I've heard about them.
If you're caught with more than 99 pounds of weed, I think it's 99 pounds, but anyway, it's a lot. It may be less. Or trafficking with intent to sell, you can go to prison for life.
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 That's fucked up.
Same as murder.
Probably murder's probably less.
Murder could be less, probably is. But eventually they will catch on. So the way I put it, the way I put it to my friends is that Alabama needs more Democrats, but California needs more Republicans. Peace.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah.
It's all about balance. And if it goes too extreme in any in any
Well,
poll.
it
That's
doesn't really
not.
sound like there's no red or blue states there anymore. It sounds like they're all rainbow states.
Well, we're not going to go there, but I couldn't agree
Well,
more.
you might get shadow banned.
I don't want to get shadowed. Well, I've already been demonetized by YouTube, so it's not that I give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I to be honest, I don't really give a fuck who watches my podcast either. I don't really do this for any audience, and I don't care if I ever get an audience. I'm doing this for the same reason that I told you before, is that I want to leave something behind. So as long as there's a YouTube, then I'll always be here saying, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
So, and that's cool. I like being able to do my own thing, because the days of me going and begging and groveling in Hollywood to, oh, please make my movie. Please, I'm so great. Please make my movie. Give me money. Those days are over. I'm doing my own shit from now on. And I don't know that I even want anyone else but me to produce my shit. Because first of all, anything that I write is going to get shot on film. 100%. Ain't no fucking digital camera ever going to fire up on one of my motherfucking sets. Ever. Yeah. You can take that digital shit and stick it in your mom's bum.
What's wrong with digital?
Well, Zaya, look, I grew up with film. Okay? And that's
old school film.
That's what it's always been. It's always been shot on film. And until they came along and thought that digital would be better, and in many ways it is, in terms of convenience, but it's not the same art form. You look at film and it's still much better. And it's just the science of film that I like. You know the difference between actual celluloid film and digital?
I don't actually scientifically know the difference.
Film is actually like real magic.
Yeah, true.
It's like true sorcery, because it's alchemy. Because you take this chemical.
You're becoming a wizard here, mate. Shut up.
Well, my name is Dogtown Wizard on several different platforms.
Yeah.
But what you do is, in the film, there's a type of silver. I don't know if the word is phosphate, but they're silver crystals. And so when these crystals are exposed to light, they react.
Yeah.
They react by turning from silver into that. It's able to magically, imagine this though. Imagine if you were high or on mushrooms and you heard me saying this. Just because I know you can't now, can you? But imagine, if you did, imagine if I told you, you better get that cough look bad as well. But that the silver crystals in the celluloid react and turn into the actual light frequency that it's capturing at that very moment. And it puts it there, and it puts it there in that frame of film for several hundred years. And if you preserve it properly, possibly 1,000 years.
Jesus.
Digital cannot do that. Digital is nothing more than a computer program put onto a hard drive. It's basically just gigabytes and megabytes. It's nothing. Okay? And it degrades much faster than film as well. I mean, of course, you can keep copying it and duplicating it, but it's not real magic. It's not real sorcery. That's what I do. I'm a fucking sorcerer. Yeah. I'm not a goddamn computer geek. I'm a fucking sorcerer.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'll never have a digital camera on any of my sets, if there are going to be any sets, which who knows. There's as many fucking lawsuits as I'm fucking about to be involved in. I'll probably never have time outside of court except to take a shit.
Jesus, you and your lawsuits, mate. Fuck.
Well, fucking hell. I've got to set the shit.
Why don't you just go ahead and put all your lawyer fees on the fucking South Australian police?
Well, I probably should have.
Why don't you stand up more? You won't win, but...
Well, I already paid him $20,000 to have you locked up. I don't know how much more I got to shell those greedy bastards.
That was under the table. They're still gonna make you pay more.
Oh well. Well, hey, I got my money's worth, brother. Is there anything else you want to add to it? I'm about to let you go.
I wanna say what? How's that dude go by the pool? Life like
Tough times never last.
yeah. Tough times never last. Only tough people do.
Only tough people last.
Yeah, you did that one perfect.
Right. So that's correct. Tough times never last. Only tough people last. And please, Zaya, don't be one of those people who... Look, I get it, man. Trust me. If I was to go into detail of how fucked up my life was when I was at your age, I mean, granted, probably you're a little more jacked, I think, than I was. But everyone goes through their different struggles. You've got to just look at it as like a war that you have to fight. And
Pretty much.
And remember, in war, there's strategy. And in the strategy, there's answers. There's answers on how to push forward, on how to press on.
Yeah.
You've got to press on through the enemy, but you've got to not give them a chance to shoot at you. You can't keep giving them excuses.
Pretty much,
to overpower you, because if you give them no excuses, they can't touch you.
Pretty much,
They can't touch you. You've got to shift. You've got to shift this thing. You've got to turn it upside down on its ass. You've got to flip to the other side of the law, to where you are on the side of law and they're the ones who are illegal. Do you get me?
Fucking oath. Yeah, fucking oath.
You've got to claim that. You've got to be the one that says, I'm the one who's on the right side of the law, not you. Because this law game, I'm used to it. I've been fighting it a long time. People love to hide behind the law. They love to use the law against others. They love love to break laws and pretend like they're not. They love to ignore laws, break others, keep others, bring others up. But that law is not justice. Justice is different. Law is just shit written down by politicians, but justice is different. So get that justice, man. But at the same time, I mean, look, you're never going to change the laws in Australia. Never.
No, they just get worse and worse.
They just get worse. So that's why the best bet for you is to evacuate.
Get the fuck evacuate.
Get the fuck out. You've got to get out, get to a place that has real freedom, because the kind of life that you are demanding, you can only have that in America, man. That's it.
Fucking up.
That's where all your dreams can come true. If you fuck it up, that'll be you fucking it up. But the opportunity's always going to be there for you, brother.
Fucking oath.
So you get over here and I'll show you around to some real fucking crazy shit.
I'll show you freedom.
But anyway, look, I appreciate you being a homie, and I appreciate you finally doing my podcast. And if there's anything you ever need, brother, you just reach out, okay? But I want you to get. I want you to get, once you get out from this viper pit, I want you to focus everything on what you really want to do. But also, but remember, money's important, and it's important to make your own money and don't depend on anyone else for any money.
Fucking nice.
You've got to make your own money, and then when you make that money legally, however you want to do it, and please try to do it legally, because if you go down the quick and easy path, that's always going to trip you up. And then you're just going to have to spend more time. Once you get fucking shot down again, it's just going to take more time to re-up.
Exactly.
So the best thing for you to do is go 100% legit, even though I know it sucks. It's going to suck ass. But it'll eventually pass, and you'll get to a point of escape velocity where you won't have to worry about that anymore. And then you'll be able to do your own thing.
Fucking nice.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so Just remember that, and you ought to be good. And then, yeah, fuck it. And you can use the money you make, you can use to finance your craft. Whatever you really want to do in life, the money you make from that bullshit drudgery is what you can finance your dreams with. And that's what I should have done. That's how I fucked up, because I've been lazy. I could be way fucking farther than I am today. Because the truth is that I just don't give a shit. And I stopped giving a shit because this whole deal out here wasn't really what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Don't we all stop giving a shit every once in a while, you know?
But now I've kind of started caring again. But see, but I've been pretty blind my whole life. But only recently have I been able to see, man. And I can see exactly the right path for me. And that is to do my own thing and just ignore pretty much everything else.
Pretty much.
I mean, if people don't like my shit, that's great. That's tough. Like, I'm still going to be doing me. Like, I don't need anyone's validation.
I say fuck them, tell them suck them.
Exactly, brother. Well, hey, look, we're at an hour here. I need to get off, but again, I appreciate you finally showing up, Zaya Reece. After 9 months. Cheers.
Oh, good, brother. It was good. It was good speaking. And to anyone watching, tough times don't last. Only tough people do.
That's right. Let's give it a blittum.
Peace, brother.
By the way, if anyone wants to check you out online, where do they find you?
On my Instagram, AstralWun, AstralWunn, and my YouTube will be up and running again soon.
What's your YouTube?
I don't actually have it on hand at the moment. I forgot what name it is.
I think you can either search Zaya Reece or AstralWun.
Yeah, he said, yep.
All
right.
right.
I'll be untitled my old videos.
All right, cheers, man. We'll get over to Cali as soon as possible and stay out of fucking jail.
Okay, I'm going to go update Fortnite right now.
All right, I'm keen, brother. See ya.
Later, bro.
All right, later. Yeah, Australia's got a problem. Big problem. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about Shelley Duvall, and I wanted to talk about aging and getting older and dying a little bit. Since we're on such a high note, I want to drag us down a bit. You know, there's a few people I want to talk about right now. They are Shelley Duvall, Margot Kidder, Marlon Brando, and Jack Nicholson. I'll try to make this brief. First, we're going to go into Shelley Duvall, and then I'll recap with the others. So everyone who's listening to this probably knows who Shelley Duvall is. Whether you've kept up with her over the years, you should know that she quit Hollywood years ago and moved to Texas. I think she's been on her own. And she recently surfaced in the media through a Dr. Phil special and was ridiculed and made fun of by people for being crazy, acting crazy, talking crazy, looking old, looking fat, missing a tooth, gray-haired. I'm going to show you a small clip here of Shelley on a recent interview. It was about a year old, or a few months old, where she was interviewed in Texas. And for those of you who may not know, whether you've been living in a cave your whole life, Shelley Duvall is the star of The Shining with Jack Nicholson, also Popeye with Robin Williams, and she also had her own television show, her fantasy television show, The Fairy Tale Theater, which was excellent.
What was it like working with, I can't believe I'm going to ask this. What was it like working with Robin?
Working with Robin was heaven on earth.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just such a lighthearted, wonderful, sympathetic character. And it wasn't all just fight scenes. Although there was a lot of that, I have to admit.
One more.
Hi, it's Will from...
Yeah, so you get it. So, look. It just was kind of cruel to me, everyone's reaction. Like, what do you expect? What do you really expect out of life? Do you expect that you're forever going to be young and beautiful? You're not. In fact, it goes away pretty fast. Do you expect you're always going to be sane, well in the head? You may or may not. That takes maintenance. That's not a given. And a lot of times, if trauma happens to you in your life, you may lose it. It's not your fault. Shit happens. But you don't blame yourself, and you shouldn't get blamed for it. That's variable. Some people just get sick. It happens. It's genetic, whatever. In Shelley Duvall's case, who knows? Many people have claimed that Shelley Duvall was traumatized by Stanley Kubrick on the set of The Shining, and that's kind of what happened, is that she had a nervous breakdown on that set, and from that day forward started to suffer mentally ever since then. Who knows if that's true? There's no real evidence of it. It's only a rumor. But at least Shelley's still here, and she did a picture recently, and I find the topic of old and aging, forgotten celebrities to be fascinating, because many people have this thing in their mind about a movie star or I hate the word celebrity. I'll just say movie star. Celebrity is such a meaningless term. A celebrity is basically any asshole in a newspaper anyway. Do people really think that, being a movie star automatically makes you immortal? Obviously they do. Otherwise they wouldn't have this sort of surprised reaction that Shelley Duvall aged and gained weight and got sick and is missing a tooth. Same thing with Margot Kidder. I mean, most of the world will remember her flying around in Superman's arms, looking young and beautiful, being the woman who was able to simp Superman so hard that he gave up his superpowers because he wanted to be with her that badly. He just said, fuck the rest of humanity. I want this woman. And Margot Kidder, as you may or may not know, ended up being found dazed and drugged in someone's backyard and not knowing where she was several times. And she died a very sort of not nice death. Marlon Brando, the greatest actor, the greatest film actor who ever lived, weighed over 300 pounds and used to eat pints upon pints of ice cream in this sort of condition that he had. Marlon Brando died of pneumonia. Very, very painful death. Also, in addition, Carrie Fisher. Look what happened to Carrie Fisher. I bet No one saw that coming. And yet we think these people are immortal and are going to live forever. There's no difference between a movie star and the average asshole walking the street. I need to play this because I'm going to play Marlon Brando's last words. Before I do that, I want to talk about also Jack Nicholson, my personal favorite actor of all time. I molded my acting style, my performance in The River Bridge after Jack Nicholson. I've worked with Jack Nicholson twice, met him once, and lately there was this article.
I'll take care of you now.
There was this article, I think it was Daily Mail, of Nicholson showing him outside his balcony that he had been a recluse for 2 years, and now the speculation is Jack has dementia, and he was on his balcony not looking well. 2 weeks later, he shows up at a Laker game, looking much better. I'm sure the kid's idea was to get him out. But it's like, look, my point is what do people think? Like, does being rich, does being famous, does being a great artist, does being a brilliant scientist, do you think any of these things give you a pass against age, sickness, and death? And by the way, an athlete as well. You think being an athlete will do that? It will help to some degree. It'll get you some extra years, and you'll feel great if you get your ass in shape and maintain fitness. Something that I've taken very seriously recently. But you're still going to end up in the same place everyone else does. Again, hearkening back to, what are you going to leave behind? Think about that. Think about that. What are you going to leave behind? Just your headstone? No one's going to care about that. What are you going to leave behind for humanity? Whether it be 20 years, 40 years, 80 years, or 100 years. What are you going to leave behind? These are the last words of Marlon Brando in a video game called The Godfather. And after that, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone.
I'm with you now. I'm with you.
You know, there's a lot of foolishness about this social business. It's so unfortunate. It's really unnecessary. I gave him my no with all my courtesy. I told him his business would not interfere with mine. And he didn't take it right. I know that the Italian family is bringing misfortune down on our heads. Well, that's life. You know, everybody's got their own tale of sorrow.
The last words of Marlon Brando. Everyone has their own cradle of sorrow. And he was saying this as they recorded this when he was at the hospital at UCLA, Ronald Reagan. He was literally dying within a few days of death. And again, his last words, everybody's got their own cradle of sorrow. And that's very true. Okay. Thanks you everyone for listening. I hope you found this somewhat entertaining. If not, cool. Don't listen. That's cool too. And yeah, Zaya finally showed up